I believe the relationship is not there to make you happy. It's there to make you more aware of maybe the ways that you're blocking love from coming into your life through your relationship with God or source or the divine, whatever. When you use the relationship as that, when you come in with that perception, now you don't need the other person to fulfill you. And as you get to use your romantic relationship as the perfect catalyst for deepening that evolution towards God or your soul, then every breakdown becomes a celebration. Every breakdown, you don't have to like enjoy the breakdown, but you can learn to appreciate the breakdown because you know it's going to create another breakthrough that's going to pull you even deeper into your own path, but even deeper into the love and union you have with the person that you're with.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I am super excited about today's episode. I have my friend Jordan Candlish on the podcast. He is a men's relationship coach. If you aren't already familiar with his content, immediately go follow him on Instagram. I love his content because he shows all of these different skits of what's happening in relationships when we have these little miscommunications with our partners, and it shows you what's happening on both sides. So it looks at attachment styles. This content looks at, what's going on with deeper inner child wounds, how we can have better communication. And so I was super excited to have him on the show. It was really fun because he came out and visited San Diego and LA, and we got to get to know each other more. And he's just such an incredible guy and really embodied in what he is teaching. So I'm really excited for you guys to listen to this episode. We covered it all when it comes to relationship dynamics and how we can improve communication and our sex lives and intimacy and our relationships with ourselves and our connection with source. And so we went all different types of places. I feel like there's a lot in here that really needed to be said. So I'm excited for you all to listen to this episode. So enjoy this conversation with Jordan Candlish. I feel like we've been in the vortex.
Yeah, I feel like we've already had 3 podcasts before we jumped on this one.
I know, literally. Yeah. I also was thinking about, you can share how you have felt on your trip, but I feel like I've gotten an extension of the energy of your trip. I feel like I'm also in your wave of synchronicity. And
for sure.
Like, how are you feeling since being out here? What's been unfolding for you?
Yeah, I was coming out here already feeling like I had just done so much in the last 3 weeks. And I was like, oh shit, am I sure I want to come out to California and do another week out here? Mm-hmm. And it was almost as though as soon as I arrived and I picked up my rental car and I drove through Venice, I was like, yeah, this is it. I fucking love this place.
Yeah.
And then all the people that you connected me with just were such amazing human beings. And I also felt so much gratitude for you for this entire trip because you made this happen.
And
there was multiple other factors that came into it, but it was me coming to be on this podcast with you, which is what brought me out here. And then all these other connections came of it. Meeting all the people at your house on Sunday was so special as well. Yeah. And just my love for California, first time in San Diego, this place is spectacular. Yeah. And now I'm left going, how the hell do I get a visa? I got to spend more time here. Yeah. I want to be around more people. I want to be around people like you more, have more of these kinds of conversations. So yeah, it's really altered. It's actually altered my life in a big way, this trip.
Oh, it makes me so happy. In a big way,
in 6 days.
It feels significant. I feel like I love watching it play out for people when it's like, you just follow the sign, you follow the opportunity. Yeah. Like you just said yes, and look at all these people that you met and all this stuff that kind of unfolded and opened up for you.
I know. It's also, I'm also pinching myself sometimes to realize how much the content and what I'm sharing and with my girlfriend Amanda, how it's impacting people. Because I come out here and people, I follow your stuff. Sometimes you don't realize that it is touching many people. Yeah. And when I come here and people are interested in what I'm doing, it's still a surreal thing.
Oh, for sure.
To be like, I'm making an impact. It's pretty awesome.
I think it's really important to be reminded of that. Like, I know I struggle with that. I feel like I was talking about this with podcasting above any other medium. You just feel like you're putting something into the abyss and you hear nothing, And so I tell people, I'm like, it means so much to me when you tell me like the podcast helped you. Any type of feedback keeps me going because, like we create a lot and like you don't always realize how much it's actually changing lives. And then when you actually talk to people and see how it's really changing their life, you're like, wow, this is why I do this, and it makes it matter. You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
So yeah, special humans out here.
Yeah.
And I'm also interested by the fact that I have so many clients and past clients and friends and people that follow me in California. So when I come here, I think that's what makes it so special for me is people.
Yeah.
People is really all of it. Obviously being close to the ocean is great too, but I feel it. I really feel it out here.
Well, that's the thing. People complain about the prices, but I'm like, you're paying for access. Like you're paying to be around these types of people, to be honest. You know, it's like if I lived anywhere else, I wouldn't have all these connections. And I think like we can take that for granted sometimes too, even just, you know, my assistant was there the other night. She's 16 and she helps me with stuff at my house and stuff. And I know she had made a comment. She's like, I didn't realize like you knew all these people. And I just forget like, wow, a lot of people don't have all these entrepreneurs around them, all these people that are building these incredible companies and like helping the planet in such huge ways. And I think it's really good for me to like really drop deeper into that appreciation. I'm like, wow, these are the conversations I get to have every day, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Just being around absolute powerhouses. Yeah. That is something in and of itself that is so valuable. Yeah. So valuable. And the fact that you've created that, or wherever you go, you attract that. Yeah. It's a testament to you, and I'm blessed to be in your vortex out here. It's awesome.
Likewise. I'm so glad you came. Do you feel like with business, you ever struggle to stay motivated if you're having less of that like positive reinforcement? Obviously there's your clients, but I think sometimes it can be hard as a content creator, and you're like moving around a lot. Yeah. Like I was saying to you offline before, I've not felt the motivation right now to post and share a lot of content because I'm maybe it's because I'm doing so many podcasts and I'm just having conversations with different people. And I feel like there's just so much I'm processing right now because I'm so in it that it doesn't feel right to just pull out my phone and try and talk about something that I'm still really trying to figure out what's going on in my life. So I'm giving myself some grace to not have to post and be in that world. But, you know, I'm still serving my clients, and I was up at 4:30 yesterday morning for my men's group. That, oh my God. Not too many things bounce me out of bed at 4:30, but when it's a call with the fellas, like I love it. I love it. It just gives me so much energy. So yeah, I'm just riding this wave right now, and then flying back to Lisbon tomorrow, and we'll consolidate. I'm excited to see your content after. Yeah. What you say after you've processed. Big time. Because I know a lot has shifted. Yes. You know? Yeah. So, even this conversation we just had before coming online, I'm going to have to take some time to process that. I know. I'm like trying to shift my brain right now to relationships, you know? Yeah. But I wanted to ask, you know, since you've been out here, like, I think anywhere you go, it's like a different type of people, different mindset. Like, do you notice anything different about how people are in terms of like relationship polarity? Like, is there anything you noticed when you come out to California? I think there's definitely an amplification of multiple different polarities out here, because California, America in general, is just bigger. Everything's bigger. Like the ego is bigger. Yeah. You know, the expression is bigger. The individuality is bigger. Yeah. And that comes with its own challenges in relationships, because when the ego or when the attachment is bigger out here. I see that in conversations I've been having with people in relationships. There's this attachment and insecurities that are coming from people who are so successful on the surface, or really good looking, yet underneath there's still these strong attachment wounds that are running in the background. And that's ubiquitous. It's everywhere in the world, but you come to America, it's just the drama is just as large. You know, probably the biggest out here. So and there's buddy reality TV shows built around all this drama in California, right? So yeah, I was just like noticing that, but at the root of it, it's all the same thing. Yeah. Well, you work with men all over the world, right? And I know for me, like with clients, there's very much like a bubble down here where I'm like, oh, there's a theme down here, what people are like down here. It's Peter Pans. It's what we're known for. Peter Pans. Like, dating is so hard down here is like the story, right? Yeah. Because everybody's a Peter Pan. And I know clients I have like in other parts of the country or other parts of the world, like that's not really the theme, you know? And so I'm curious, what are the themes with the men that come your way?
Yeah. The dating side is a different theme, because the men who are dating compared to the men who are in relationships are two very different
Yeah, that's true.
set of challenges and things that they're working through. And I have recently just decided that I want to work with more of the guys who are in committed relationships rather than help, because there's so much noise in the whole dating space.
Yeah.
You know, and there is a lot of bullshit out there too in this whole red pill manosphere space around what it means to be a man, attract a good quality. There's a lot of noise and rubbish, to be honest, but I don't feel the need to try and infiltrate that market too much. I like to kind of cross paths with a man who's decided he wants to commit to a woman, and now how do you navigate that? Like, what does it mean to show up as a leader in your relationship around your partner? But there's men who have gone through heartbreak or mistakes in past relationships, and now they are back being single, trying to navigate all of that. And I think it all comes back down to the same thing. Is like, how do you relate with the guiding force in your life? That guiding principle that's moving you. Do you have a relationship with that? What does that look like? How are you nurturing that? How are you protecting your connection with something far greater than you that's moving you? And that was the theme of our conversation before this podcast. And I feel like it's such an important conversation. That's why every podcast I'm being on, I keep redirecting it back to that conversation, because I think it's more important now than ever, but more discernment is required than ever. So for relationships to be successful, that has to be the foundation. You have to understand like what's guiding you. You know, who is the one that you're truly committed to? Because if you make your earthly relationship the most important thing, your wife your most important thing, then you're set up for failure from the start, because they can't fulfill you. They can't make you happy in the long term.
Speak more on that.
Yeah. I believe the relationship is not there to make you happy. It's there to make you more aware of maybe the ways that you're blocking love from coming into your life through your relationship with God or source or the divine, whatever. So when you use the relationship as that, when you come in with that perception, now you don't need the other person to fulfill you. You get to just notice when you get really triggered, or notice when they really piss you off, and go, where is that bringing up an attachment, an old conditioning, an old belief in me that's blocking the love that I have for myself, the love that I have with God, my own security. And as you get to use your romantic relationship as the perfect catalyst for deepening that evolution towards God or your soul, then every breakdown becomes a celebration. Every breakdown, you don't have to like enjoy the breakdown, but you can learn to appreciate the breakdown, because you know it's going to create another breakthrough that's going to pull you even deeper into your own path, but even deeper into the love and union you have with the person that you're with. And there's like an individuality to that too. Like, I can't force my partner to have the same relationship to God that I have. Like, I'm not going to try and tell her to come pray or meditate with me, because she gets to find her own way to that. I get to just live my path fully, authentically, and truthfully to what I feel like is true. And then as we navigate that dance together, we're almost riding the same wave, but on two separate surfboards. If most people are in relationships riding the same wave, trying to be on the same surfboard, and it does not work when you do that. It's like, find your own surfboard, find your own style of surfing, and hopefully if your partner is a match, they're on their own surfboard too, on the wave next to you, and you're just cruising. You're enjoying it.
Yeah. It's so important, because it's like, I think so many relationships go wrong because like the foundations are off. By that I mean just even the concept of like what's the purpose of this relationship, and not being on the same page about that. Like, I know I've had that conversation with partners, like, what do you mean? Like, we're just together. Like, no, but like, what do you believe is like the function of this, right? And I think most people don't even have conscious awareness around what the actual function is, and like that's setting you up to fail, right? Because if you believe there's two different people have different functions or uses, right, then that's not going to work. But most people never even inquire about that.
That's a good point.
You
That's
know?
a good point.
So
I've got so many things to share on that, but I'll share my own personal struggles. How I learned that, because it's like, also, what role do you want your partner to play? As a man, you can't expect your woman to play all these different roles in your life if the underlying purpose of your relationship, or one of the reasons the things you want to protect in your relationship, is the passionate exchange of sexual energy. The passionate exchange of sexual energy is also the thing that's awakening you to deeper levels of connection with the divine. So the moment you lose contact with that in the relationship, you've lost contact with the purpose of the relationship, in my opinion. Unless you want your relationship to be, you want your wife to be your best friend. And you can have that. They can be your best friend, but don't expect them to be your best friend your business partner, your housekeeper, and the mother of your children all at the same time, because that's impossible. And expect to have sex all the time, expect to be attracted to them. That's just not going to work. There was a time when in 2022 when COVID ended, we're living in Western Australia. Amanda and I were stuck in COVID during that time, and I was making content and doing my thing, and she was working in a digital marketing agency, and I was seeing like all the work she was doing for this agency. And I was like, hey, why don't you come do that with me? Like, let's do this content thing together. I really feel like we could blow this thing up. And she was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And I decided to bring her on full time with what I was doing. And then we started traveling together. So she's working with me in the business. We're traveling together. We're living together. We're doing everything together. And then during this time, I started to notice I don't feel like having sex that much. My sex drive is not there anymore. We went from having sex, a few times a week to a few times once every couple of weeks. And I couldn't understand what was going on. Traveling to these amazing countries, living the dream life. And the business was crushing, but our sexual intimacy was off. Yeah. And I couldn't figure it out until I realized this whole thing is like, I'm expecting her to play too many roles in my life. What's the main role that I want her to play? I still want that sexual energy there. I still want to be passionately attracted to her. So it required me acknowledging, hey, maybe right now her working in the business with me full time is not the best move. She's still going to support me in the business, but I don't want her fully involved in the business, because there's no greater turn off than going, hey, babe, you said you'd get the landing page done on Monday. It's now Wednesday. Where is it? She's like, fuck you, shut the fuck up. It's 6 p.m. I'm trying to fucking chill and watch my Housewives of fucking Beverly Hills or whatever. So we kept having these little arguments, and when I shifted that, and then there's other nuance to that as well, but I can go into it, but things started to self-correct, and I learned all these really powerful lessons about that are critical errors that I know a lot of men make in relationships that cost them.
It's really hard to work with your partner. I mean, a lot of couples do it, but I think it's really hard. And because, so now what is the work relationship like? Because doesn't she still do like your marketing or no?
She edits some, she mainly just helps me with strategy sometimes for some of the videos, or she'll edit some of the skits that we do together, and she's in my skits, of course. So she helps me film them. But that's not as much as it was before. She has a full-time, she's a CMO of a peptide company right now, so she's doing her own other thing.
Gotcha. And that evened it out.
Yes.
I think, like, are there other examples you could give of that you might have seen with other clients where maybe it's not that their partner is working with them in their business, but like, what are other things that are like killing the sexual dynamic outside of that, where it's more of like a lifestyle choice than it is like they're just not the right person? Because I think a lot of people are just, the second they lose that feeling, they're like, this just isn't correct, when really, like, we have to work on polarity,
of course.
Because are there any other things that you see happening, like dynamics that show up that kill that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I had this client that I was working with, we'll just call him John, and he was traveling with his girlfriend, very similar lifestyle as what I had with Amanda. I'd been with his partner for like 6 odd years or something, and they both worked online. They were living in Bali, doing the thing, and he was telling me, like, dude, I'm not attracted to her right now. We are the best friends. I love her so much. We have the best time together, but I'm just not craving sex. I'm not turned on by her right now. And it was throwing him in a loop, because it was just making him so worried that like he what if this is not the right one for me, and as I was coaching him and working him through on these things, I realized that he spent so much time around her that he had no individual connection with his independent desires outside of the relationship. So I was literally like, bro, you need to go spend time with yourself and with your friends outside of the relationship. And he was afraid to do that because he didn't want to upset her. He thought that he had to include her in everything because that's what being a loving, good man did in a relationship. And I was like, mate, you need to step away from that. Like, you need to find your own friends outside the relationship. You need to go play sport. You need to go on a trip with yourself. Go do your own stuff and find out, what do you want outside of just like, what do we want? And as he started to do that, he started to find that having space created distance, obviously, but distance is what creates tension. Esther Perel talks about this in one of her books. I think it's Media and Captivity. Is like, polarity is found in the tension. If you're so enmeshed emotionally and your desires are the same, where's that spark? It can't exist. So there needs to be this strong difference between this is what I want, this is my masculine edge, this is how I sharpen my edge and fill that cup, so when I come back into my relationship with my partner, boom, there's a spark there. There's something that she can bump up against and be like, wow, that's you know, there's contrast. As a man, you find that through time on your own, time doing challenging things, time with other men, time exploring what makes you come alive outside of the relationship. And the women, it's a similar kind of thing, except slightly different. You need time with women, time exploring your own creative projects, time exploring your own desires outside of the relationship. When you have that and that's nurtured, you can be together a long time and still be really sexually attracted to each other. My partner and my client John, when he started to explore that, started to find naturally the attraction came back. Thought it was with testosterone things. I don't know. Hormonally, your body is responding to being around a woman all the time.
Yeah.
Testosterone's going to go down. So the more he started to honor that space and his independence, the body just responds.
Yeah.
Because you're so attracted to her when you first met her. There's not a whole lot's changed. It's just your hormones. So that's a huge one.
Yeah.
That's a huge one.
If you were like giving a master class on, okay, if you're in a long-term relationship and you want to keep the polarity, you want to keep the attraction, like these are the 3, 5, 10 things you have to make sure are part of the structure. Like what are the things that would be on the list? Like obviously having your own, what you just said, like having your own interests and like your own kind of life.
Yeah.
What else would you say?
Yeah, having the ability to speak the truth. And I say this because like I have been such a nice guy in my life. People pleaser. I really don't like upsetting people. I don't like hurting people by saying the truth. But sometimes the truth hurts and you got to say it. Because if you don't say it, you're creating this energetic wall around your heart that you can pretend like things are sweet on the surface, but you're just internally resenting that person. So in a relationship, it becomes even more important to look at, where am I not speaking the truth to my partner? Where is something that they're doing or not doing is upsetting me, it's bothering me? Is there something I need from them that I need to communicate? And having maybe sometimes you need that once a week to have a conversation to be like, hey, let's just express what are you withholding? Is there anything going on? Anything that I'm doing that's pissing you off? Let's hash it out. Let's just express it. Because just that alone can lighten the walls around the heart where that emotional synergy comes back. And what I found is when the emotional chemistry is there, the physical chemistry very often follows. So it's having a regular practice where you're speaking truth to each other. And could even be some like hard stuff, like where we should invest our finances, what school should we send our kids to. If you don't agree with something, you need to talk about that maturely. Doesn't mean you start like reacting and swearing and going into, you know, immature behavior, but no, have the ability to honor what you feel and speak about it in a grounded way without projecting your shit onto the other person, but speak about the stuff that's bothering you. If you can do that in your romantic relationship, that's like 70% of it. The other part of it is like I said, get a support system outside of the relationship. Most men want to do one of two things. They're either making their partner their therapist. They're talking about all their problems. Oh, I'm struggling with this. Can you you're getting their partner to hold space for them. So what kind of dynamic is that putting her in? She's in her masculine. He's in her feminine. He's a mess.
Yeah.
Or he's not talking about anything. He's just like white knuckling it. I'm good. Worked a 12-hour day. Yeah. How are you, babe? I'm fine. Good. But he's cold as hell. There's no emotional connection at all. And then she's left thinking, well, I can't trust this guy because he's telling me he's fine, but I know he's not fine. Women know when you're off. Yeah. Right? So as a man, you got to find a space either with a men's group, a coach, a therapist, someone that can hold you and allow you to process the burdens that you're carrying, the fear and the shame, whatever it is that's going on inside of you. Find an outlet for it outside of the relationship so that when you're in your relationship, you can speak from the place of, babe, I got this. I've had a tough day. I'm going through something right now. If you notice me being a little distant, it's all good. I'm just carrying some fear from what went on at work today. I'm working through it. We're going to be sweet, but I just need 20 minutes to myself this afternoon. When you can do that as a man, it's so assuring. So assuring when a woman's around it. So same thing for the ladies. Have females around you, friends that you can have like emotional conversations about, because your man, he's going to cap out after about 15 minutes. If you start dumping your day on him.
Yeah. I want to double tap on this because this comes up so much with clients, with people I talk to. And it's very triggering for people. Like when I'm like, he's not your therapist, and also like you're not his. And I think people, like, their brains break where they're like, well, I don't understand this. Like, they're my partner. It's my partner. We're supposed to hold space for each other. Can you explain what the difference is between like holding space for your partner is, like, as in a romantic relationship versus if you should be talking to a coach or a therapist or like friends, which there's more to that, but
Yeah.
what's the difference?
Yeah. I think it depends on the stage or the season that you're going through in your life. If you're going through a lot right now and you're like, you know what, there's more of a need right now for me to have additional support or space holding outside the relationship because the little exchanges I'm having with my partner is not enough, then you got to be aware of that. But I think the difference is when you're going to your partner at the end of the day, you both get to tune into what's the capacity level right now? Where are we at? And maybe ask your man if you have something you need him to hold space for you. What's your capacity at right now, sweetheart? You've just had a long day on calls. Where are you at? You're 50%, you're at 20. And if he's like, hey, I'm at 20, I could probably give you my presence for 10 minutes, or I'll let you know when I'm checking out. That's such a healthy thing to do, rather than expecting your man to just be fully holding a space for an hour for you as you just process all the things that you're going through. Right. Yeah. Because again, men are so different. They're not going to have that same emotional range that a woman has just by biology. It's just like that. So I think it's still okay to be able to have tough conversations with your partner. And if you're in the space to hold that for your partner and go, hey, you know what? I got you. Let's go into it. What's coming off you right now? Like it's okay to do that, but just know that when you're crossing the line of like, now I'm trying to be present, but I'm emotionally checking out because I don't have the reserves for this right now. I think just letting your partner know when that's the case. I personally don't think men should be dumping too much on their women. That's just my individual perspective. Like you can tell your partner what you're going through, what's coming up, but if I'm processing something around my partner, I wouldn't do that. It's just not a good dynamic to be in.
Yeah, it's something that I've learned as like one of the top things on my list that I'm looking for of like, does he have a space or know how to in whatever space he has to like move through his stuff on his own?
Yeah. Or
is he like looking for a partner to be the space holder and the therapist? Yeah. It's very common. Yeah. Especially with what I do, you know. It's like you're holding space for people all day. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So it can very quickly get out of balance. And a lot of people who like listen to this, they are healers of some type. And I think it's so important to have like a really clear distinction between like what's healthy in a relationship versus what is work, you know, and that can be a very tricky line for people. And like, I just think like for me, it's so important. And like, I even have this conversation with people like about their friends too. I'm like, your friends are also not your therapist. Like you have to know the difference between what's healthy to share and vent about or whatever, like get a reflection on it in friendships versus like you need to be talking to a coach or a therapist. 100%. It's different. And
that's such a good point. There's nothing worse as well when your friends start trying to coach you and you don't want coaching.
Yeah.
You know, because that's like, I hate that. I hate being coached when I didn't ask for coaching.
Yeah, unsolicited.
You know, but when you're paying for a coach, I'm paying this person to give it to me. Like, fucking give it to me. Where am I fault? What am I missing here? Give it to me straight. And it's a totally different dynamic when you've got that. Then when you're around your friends and it's like, it's just more relaxed. It's a little bit more of a relaxed dynamic of sharing what you're learning and whatnot. So yeah, good point.
And I think with that, there's this really interesting conversation I've had with certain friends where I'm like this balance between authenticity, but also like, I don't think you should be showing up the same everywhere, you know? And I had this conversation I've had this quite a few spaces where I'm like, well, I have a different personality in my romantic relationship than I do anywhere else. And they're like, well, then you're not being authentic. I'm like, no, it's like, I'm being authentic everywhere, but it's just a different part of me, you know? And like, if I'm showing up, like with that argument, if I'm showing up the way I show up at work, at home, like we're going to lose the polarity. It's like totally different, you know? And so I'm wondering if you could speak into that of like, what's that balance with authenticity, right? And being all of yourself, but also I think what's like the healthy expression in a romantic relationship, because I think that we come from, or like, I know my parents, like that generation was just very like dumpy, you know, and no boundaries. And we don't really have healthy examples of what it means to show up, you know, in a certain role somewhere, which I think goes back to this idea of like, what are the roles and are they defined? I think that's really important.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times people haven't contacted what it even feels like to be authentically themselves. So
Fair.
until you've done that, they're
That's
not even
fair.
at that place where you're at, where they
Yeah.
know the difference between their
Yeah.
work mode, relationship mode, and things like that. I don't know if this is related, but I feel like it's important. Again, I'm speaking to the men, but this also applies to the women. But to have a transition between your work and your relationship
Yeah.
is so important, because if you don't have that, then you're just going to carry forward your work mode into relationship or family mode. And then you're going to wonder why it's so hard to connect. You wonder why it's so hard to empathize with your partner if you've just gone from a sales call straight into time with your loved one. She's like, oh, tell me about your day. You're like still thinking about the invoice you to send, or, why this client didn't close or whatever. So have a transition where it's like, okay, if you're now going to go into being present around the people you love, your family members or your kids or whatever, give yourself 15 to 20 minutes. And the intent is to come back to your body, to your body. As men, we're so in our heads because so much of our work requires us to do that. So if you can have 15 minutes to come back into your body, either you just lie down and close your eyes, either you just go have a shower, you listen to some music, you go for a walk, whatever you got to do to symbolize, I'm now shifting into relationship mode. I'm now shifting into being present, to being connected with my emotions, having my heart open. Because if you don't do that, then your partner is never going to really truly connect with that emotionally safe man that she really needs, because you're too rational and in your head trying to fix everything and solve her problems, when most of the time she doesn't need that.
I'm curious what your response is when people have a but because of family, where it's like, I think a lot of people struggle with like keeping polarity alive when like there's kids and we're busy and I'm going straight from this to that to this to that, I'm thinking about that because a lot of women I work with, they're like, well, I don't have time to transition, like I've got the kids, I've got to handle that, I've got to make dinner, it's so fast. And that also goes into the polarity thing. Like when you're coaching men, I'm sure this comes up, like navigating the whole family system, especially the younger the kids are. Like, how do you support them in that?
Yeah, just find a way. Like, if most of the times as well for the guys, say they're driving home from their office and it's a 30-minute drive. What I find for a lot of these guys, they're still listening to personal development, or they're trying to learn. I'm like, bro, it's your brain's not retaining any of that information. It's 5:30. Turn it off. Just drive in silence, or put on something that's going to help you just be present. And when you get home in your car in the driveway and you've pulled up, turn the engine off, close your eyes for 5 minutes. Just sit there in silence. Close your eyes, breathe, and allow yourself to just be for a moment. And just set that intent that, hey, I'm going to step into this house. I'm going to be the leader my family needs. Maybe it's a little prayer or something. I'm going to be this grounded, safe, open, connected father, husband that my family needs. And so be it. And it could be that. It doesn't have to be this like fancy practice or routine. It's just fucking close your eyes and just tune in for a moment. It's so hard for so many guys because they're like so go, but you need to create these little pockets or containers in your life where you just receive for a moment, because they're giving so much all the time. So you have to figure out what's important to you,
like I think with all this stuff, people have a lot of like reasons why they can't that are logistic, and at a certain point you have to decide, like, do you want a healthy relationship or do you want to just keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to have to make an adjustment. It comes on both sides.
100%.
Like I know you speak more to the male side, but it's also like the same thing on our side, I'm curious what you feel like women don't understand about men that would be really helpful for them to know to be better partners.
Wow, that's the $1 million question. If only we had more women asking that question. Great question, Christina. Majority of men care way more than what you realize, and the way that they express their love is sometimes not the way that you want it, but it doesn't mean they don't love you, don't care about you. It's actually more than what you realize. And what I try to help the guys with is helping them express that love in the way that your woman actually wants to receive it. Most men think, if I just provide, if I just like pay all the bills and work really hard and build this empire for my family, that's how I'm going to show my love. But it's not how your family wants to receive it most of the time. They want you present there with, like, not just physically there, emotionally there as well. So I think a lot of women don't realize how much their man actually cares, because I've had calls with men who are like shattered when they realize the way they thought they were showing love wasn't enough, And when they realize they've lost that woman that they
Mm-hmm.
really cared about, they are fucking gutted. It
Mhm.
like rips their heart out. So there's that. And I think sometimes men, like, we're sensitive.
Yeah.
We're sensitive. Like sometimes, like just a little pep talk is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, a little massage, a little
Yeah.
like the home cooked meals. All those
Yeah.
little things go so far
Mhm.
when a man's coming home from a hard day at the office, or he's going through it right now. He's just backs up against the wall. The little pep talk, the softness from his woman. It just it's sometimes all we need. That's all we need. And just remember that if he's fallen short in different areas, he doesn't need the mum telling him, just nagging at him. Just give him a little pep talk. Be like, hey, sweetheart, like, what's going on? It seems like you're missing a lot of things right now. Your head's all over the place. Sit down. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know. I'm like, I say this to so many women. I'm like, well, have you like complimented him? Like, like it's like that simple. It's like men, just a little bit of encouragement. Like, and partners will tell me that they're like, when you're just like, I believe in you. They're like, I feel like I could take on the world. It's like so simple. But I think a lot of people overlook those really simple things.
Yes.
It's like, when's the last time I just said this to someone in my family. I was like, when was the last time you complimented him? She's like, well, hasn't done anything for me to compliment. I'm like, that's just not true. Like anything, be like, thank you so much for taking out the trash. Like, like anything. It's like, thank you. Like, and I think that people get in these, it's like this stalemate, like I want this from you. You're not giving it to me. So I'm not going to give you love. It's like this whole thing. And somebody has to go first.
Yeah. Another thing that I forgot to mention on that as well.
Yeah.
Is in the bedroom as well. Like, I like it when my woman goes out of her way to buy a nice new lingerie and like do something real sexy. And like, not that I need it, but it's nice when she dresses up and looks really beautiful, buys that new thong, and I'm like, damn, that's fucking hot. Like, a lot of women get really complacent in the bedroom and wonder why is he not initiating sex with me as much? Well, we are visual. Men are visual animals more than what women are. We get turned on when our partner like just walk through the house like naked or something. Like, oh wow, like that can just change our state immediately. Like they have the power to do that. You women have the power to do that.
I know.
And I think a lot of women forget that when they've been in a relationship for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like that can brighten his mood. Just flash him your tits or something. And it's what we need.
It's so important because I think it's interesting. I feel like there are a lot more like people giving advice for men nowadays, like, which is it's really important. It's helpful. But then I feel like a lot of those people also have a large female audience. I don't know what your audience is like, but it's where 50, it's like a lot of women be like, yeah. And I'm like, but you guys, like, we're the problem too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like there's, as a woman, I'm saying, like, I don't think there's enough people being like, woman, like, these are also things you can do that help him be more receptive. Yeah. Like, I think it goes both ways.
Definitely.
To be honest, and I think that's the thing. It's like, we want people to show up differently. And like, well, what are we doing to help shift the energy? Like, that's really important because both people can get complacent. Like, it's always both people at play. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. I love that you took it this angle in this conversation. A lot of women don't. They just love to hear about all the ways that men are falling short. And sometimes I'm cautious with the content that I make because I call the men out for sure. And the women love that. They love to like, oh, see, look, this is you, all the ways you're not showing up. But sometimes like men are trying really hard. And sometimes the little things that a woman can do to just help make his life a little easier can go a long way to helping him be more inspired to want to step in. So it goes both ways. For sure.
And I think that's why, like, I'm always like, everyone needs to just learn how different people think. Like, the way your brain thinks is different from the way, like, the female brain thinks. And that's important to know about your partner so you can actually acknowledge them, you know? And there's, like, I said this to my mom the other day. I'm like, she was complaining about something. I'm like, he's trying. Like, he was trying. And she's like, well, she's like, I guess you're right. And I'm like, but like, how powerful would that be if in that moment you could see, maybe this isn't what I would do, but I see you are trying.
Yes.
And then you can actually appreciate the person. And that goes both sides.
Big time.
In my opinion.
Big time. Yeah. Another thing for women to remember when it comes to men is like, men love the archetype of being the hero. We love to be the one who saves the day, the one who steps in and like takes care of everything. So when you have an opportunity to give your man the ability to step into being the hero, let him have it. Don't try to control everything and be the strong, independent woman because you can, because we know you can. But let him just like, babe, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know how to fix the fridge. Can you come help me fix it? Men love that opportunity. Cool. Like, let me come in and like, I'll do it for you, babe. I don't know what to do with my money. Can you come help me? Cool. Yeah, I'm in. I got it. I got you. I'll figure it out. Like, give him the opportunities to be the hero, to lead you, instead of just thinking you can do it all.
Yeah. It's the hormones, you know. That's how you connect. Yeah. I'm curious because I know that Amanda is like crushes, you know, and I think now the culture has kind of gotten to this place where there's a lot of guys that are just like, I want someone who's more feminine, so I don't want someone who like can crush it on their own. Like a lot of men will tell me this now. They're like, well, I'm looking for someone who like doesn't have a job, who like just needs, and I'm like, okay, I think there's some balance there, right? So how does that play out in your dynamic, right? Like you guys still have polarity, and like she can be independent, you can be independent. Like, can you speak more into that to give people like a better idea of how that can play out?
Yeah, a lot of women are really strong, independent, smart, successful, entrepreneurial, and for the men who are dating those kinds of women, it's tough. It's tough because they're in their masculine a lot, and some women are better than others at being able to switch that off. And at the end of the day, when work mode's done, boom, they're straight back into that feminine, soft, maternal energy. But for a lot of the times, for the men who are dating those women, it's up to you to take the task or the responsibility of helping her get back into her feminine. It means you have to override her masculine energy. And if at the end of the day, she's bringing that boss babe energy back home and she starts bossing you around, you go, whoa, hey, whoa. No, that's not how we speak to each other. You got to be strong enough to just nip it in the bud early. To like, don't let her operate like that or speak to you like that. Like the nice guys will just let that happen. And then it perpetuates. So and that's how it's been with me and Amanda, because she'll very quickly like in the business, if we're doing marketing strategy, boss me around, go for it. I love it. When that's done, I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be spoken to like that in that tone. And she appreciates, not in the moment, but afterwards, she appreciates me kind of standing up for myself in that way. So I think goes for the guys, if you are dating a powerhouse woman, just know that how you got your masculine energy going to override her at the end of the day, so she can drop into that feminine flow of like, okay, I don't need to have it all together. I don't need to be in control anymore. I can let go of this. My man has got me. What does that look like for you specifically in the relationship? It's like something you need to define. Is she thinking she needs to do all the housework? Is she thinking she needs to take care of the kids? Does she think she needs to pick up everything? Where is she still holding that energy at the end of the day? And how can you alleviate some of that stress from her life? How can you take the burden of decision making off her plate at the end of the day? That's where you're thinking outside of just yourself. This is the mistake I made for so long, and many men make. We're just thinking about ourselves. We're selfish. When you stop being selfish and start thinking about the other person, how can I make her life easier? I promise you, bro, she's going to feed back into you in so many ways that both of your guys are going to get easier, because when you get out of yourself, get out of your self-centered thinking, you're operating how God, the divine, wanted to operate, which is to be selfless, to help other people. If you help your partner, your fucking life is just way better for it.
Why is it that you find men struggle with that?
I think it goes back to the unconscious validation that we're seeking, that we never got from our dads growing up, which is so many men just chase it through their business, their career, through achievement. And women do this too, of course. But for men, we're just like so gung-ho on trying to prove to the world, sometimes prove to ourselves that we're good enough. And that can lead to just working ourselves to the bone, literally working to the bone, because without that, we don't feel worthy. We don't feel good enough. So then it becomes this fully self-centered idea of like, how do I prove myself? How do I prove myself? Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? It's just constantly driving you to unconscious behavior that's just trying to like seek that validation you never got growing up. So women have this in their own way as well, no doubt about it. You know, the polarizing side of this is like the woman who's posting half naked photos on her Instagram wanting attention from
Your favorite.
yeah. So there's that there too.
Yeah.
But from the man's side, it's very often their work that swallows them.
So
because that's how their dads did it.
Yeah.
They're emulating the pattern that their dad passed down to them.
So how does one get to a place where they feel validated or worthy or whatever the word is, where they can then learn to be selfless?
This back to that spirit. It's the spiritual question.
I want to know how you would answer that, you know?
It's
because it's a big question, and like people ask an iteration of that a lot to me, and I don't know that my answer is satisfactory for people. So I'm curious what yours would be.
Yeah, the coach side of me answers it in the form of really being able to connect back with that inner child, really learning to understand the different parts of you that are operating in the background and in the foreground that are protecting you from that wounded inner child that just really needed that reassurance and love from his dad that he is doing enough and that he is worthy. But then the divine aspect of it is there's a divine father energy that so many men and women are disconnected from, which is the father energy that's always choosing you. You're always chosen. You're never not chosen. And it's a perspective shift to remember when you're feeling like you're not enough, the anxiety or the overwhelm is kicking in. Can you reorient your perspective to the divine truth that in this moment right now you are chosen, you're enough. And it's never changed. It's always been that way. And every time you catch yourself going back to the old self of wanting to distract, numb, avoid, or hide, or whatever the fuck it is, come back to the truth. I'm always enough. I don't need to reach for that distraction. I can be in this. And even when I'm feeling anxious, low, and overwhelmed and shame, I'm still enough. And if you can remember that, then you're not going to avoid those scary emotions anymore. You're not going to avoid that tension. That's what it is, just tension in the body. You're not going to run from the tension anymore because you'll realize the tension is just another access point for a new level of love, fulfillment, freedom, abundance, and joy to flow through me. Because God's in the darkness just as much as he's in the light. If you're avoiding the darkness, you're also avoiding the light. If you're afraid of failure, you're also afraid of success. So it's like realizing that all the things you've ever wanted are on the other side of that tension, and choosing to look at it head on and be like, all right, let me endure this. Let me look at it. Instead of running from it, let me fucking look at it. Because that's what a man does. He's courageous enough to look in the dark. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't have to do that on your own too.
Yeah.
You can get support in doing that as well.
I think a lot of people need support in doing that. I think a lot of people just need examples of that, because I think most people don't have good examples around them, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. And if a man's only had that model of you just grit and grind your way through life, and the people around him, that's what they do as well. And he hears that and goes, how the fuck was that even mean?
Yeah.
He needs to have an experience. He needs to be held in a way that allows him to feel safe enough to connect with that for a moment. And the amount of coaching calls I've had with men where I just give them that space and they just fucking cry for the first time ever, because finally they were able to see themselves in this way with compassion, with grace, with understanding, to see that inner child that really fucking cares but just didn't know how to love himself enough. That it just changes everything.
Yeah.
The pressure just can dissolve in an instant.
Yeah.
So
magical.
Yeah.
Magical. And like I think that's also like with like for men, like brotherhood, and like for women, sisterhood is like there's a different type of mirror that you get, you know? It's a different type of space that gets held that like opens up something very different for us, you know? Big time. I think we're in a really interesting time where like, you know, in spiritual lingo, I'm like, we're creating new templates. Like we're creating new relationship templates, and actually like creating like what do we think is healthy and like what actually works for us individually. Whereas I think before it was a lot of like, this is how you do relationship, nobody questioned it, wasn't necessarily healthy. And now people are questioning things and trying a lot. Not all of it works, but we're kind of trying to come into like a new template of how that can look, you know? And something that I think is interesting about you and Amanda, it's like the long distance component that comes up. And like I mentioned this to you the other night, like I have felt like a lot of my healthiest relationships like had a long distance component, because it was just kind of this built-in like tension creator, and like this built-in I have to have my own life and so does this person. And I think a lot of people are so anti like a long distance component. A lot of people are so anti-space.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm curious what your perspective is on that. Like, how has that been harder? How has that been better for you guys? What has been your experience?
Yeah, I mean, you already know I'm such a big advocate for that. I don't know if everyone's made for it. I don't know if everyone has the thick enough skin to handle being away from their significant other.
In what way?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Because the reason we fall in love with our significant others is because life's easier around them. Especially men around your woman, like things feel softer and more gentle. It's like a warm hug at the end of the day. But that safety blanket can also become your biggest impediment as well. So again, I'm speaking to the men, but I feel like as men, you gotta seek out sometimes the uncomfortable, challenging thing. And if you're so comfortable being with your partner all the time, and that is like your safety blanket that's keeping you away from discovering what the next level of your purpose or the next level of expression is, then being around them all the time is blocking your growth. So what I find is whenever I have time away from my partner, the first week or the first few days even, there's like an element of loneliness that comes up because I'm so used to filling that void with her. I'm so used to like, oh, we can watch something together, we can cuddle together, we can have sex, we can do so many amazing things together. You take that away and then you go, oh, I'm a little bit lonely.
Yeah.
I'm a little lonely. And I've now learned to go, that's exactly the point. That's exactly why I need this.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I stay connected to my own independent guidance and the part of me that's deeply secure within myself. Because when I know I'm good on my own and I don't need anyone to fulfill me, then I can show up way better in the relationship when I'm around her. So I get that few days of loneliness comes up, I allow it, I get through it, and then I pop out the other side and I'm fucking thriving on my own. I get so much creative ideas because now all this space that I was usually spending with her, it's all me with God, me just like understanding what's next, where am I being guided, who are the people I get to hang out with. This whole trip would have been a very different trip if Amanda was here. I wouldn't have probably met all the same people. I would have done totally different things. Like, see how much freedom I've had on this trip because I did it on my own. Is then what allows me to come back to the relationship as a fundamentally different human being. Yeah. And that's what is needed.
Yeah.
That's what's needed.
Yeah.
So you want that. You want to be evolving so quickly in your relationship because that's what helps the relationship expand and evolve as well. And it's when it's newness, freshness totally. is it.
People, I think so much of it is actually like people just don't trust. Like, it's crazy to me how people just don't trust. And I think this also goes into, like, you had posted about this recently about, like, what do you think if your partner has a lot of male friends? And I wanted you to talk about that because I don't know what the conclusion was. What was like the conclusion with people? What did they say?
I think the women were more understanding. I think there's some men that were probably a little bit triggered by the fact that, you know, what I shared in that post was there was a time in our relationship where I wasn't showing up for Amanda in the way that she needed. And, I'll tell the story specifically. It was like a time when we were traveling. Shortly after we started working together and we're doing the whole nomad thing, we're traveling all over the world. I'm so in my business. She's so working with me and like we're in our own zone. And all of a sudden I was getting complacent, I was getting lazy, wasn't initiating dates, wasn't planning things, wasn't giving her that love and leadership she really needed. And I wasn't fun to be around. That's the truth of the matter. I wasn't fun to be around. I was putting all this pressure on myself that I needed to grow my business and provide. And as a result, she was there kind of feeling a little bit distant from me, not feeling like I was important, like I was placing importance in her. And she didn't communicate that very well. And that's the growth that we've gone through in our relationship, getting better at communicating these things. But what ended up happening is we spent some time apart. She went to Lisbon. I went over to Japan to travel with some friends. And we had this 1 month apart where she started to go into this co-living entrepreneurial style setup in Lisbon. Started meeting all these new friends that were seeing her and understanding her and like helping her feel just so alive in life in a way that I wasn't. And I remember reconnecting back with her one time in Austin after this trip she had. I picked her up from the airport, drove to an Airbnb, and I could sense in the car there was some distance between us. I was like, for the first time, I was like, that's weird. What is this? I could tell she wasn't that excited to be around me. Got to the Airbnb, we had sex, and then she started crying after we had sex. I was like, oh shit, what's going on now? Like what's happened here? Yeah. And then she started to share with me that she's met these new people that make her feel really special, and she hasn't felt that in our relationship in so long. And I started to feel all this shame and this like, fuck, how did I miss this? What the hell? I told her like, yeah, I would, I'm going to be better. I'm going to change. The 3 weeks, 3 weeks went by in Austin. Not a whole lot changed. We then split ways again. She then went back to Lisbon, spent 2 months living in Lisbon with these new friends. And I'm back in Perth, Western Australia in the middle of winter. She's in the Lisbon summer. I could see she was going to festivals and having the time of fucking life. And I see in some of her stories, these guys she's hanging out with. And I'm like, who the fuck are these dudes? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Who are these guys? And I never for once thought she would cheat on me.
Yeah.
And she never would cheat on me.
Yeah.
But seeing that on her story woke something up in me for the first time. Like some deep insecurities came up in me because I know I wasn't showing up for her in the way that she needed. I know that there was masculine energy that wasn't getting fulfilled from the man that's meant to be fulfilling it for her. So who knows? Like, she might have been like emotionally just like feeling the vibes of being around these other guys. And I remember having to call her up and be like, hey, I need to like speak to you about this. I need to address this. Like, what's going on here? Like, what is this? I've owned all the ways that I was falling short in the relationship. And one of the things I discovered in that time was a book called The Masculine Relationships by a guy called G.S. Youngblood. He's a great author and he wrote a great book, and it gave me a lot of insights about where I was falling short. I broke it all down to her and just said, hey, I want to acknowledge where I've been falling short. I've not been showing up as the man you need. I like almost like re-enrolled her into the vision of what was possible for us by me shifting and stepping into the man I needed to be. And she started crying when she heard that. And it was like a moment where her hanging out with other male friends was the catalyst for me realizing where I wasn't showing up in the relationship that as the man I needed to be. Because I don't think a woman has a desire to have many male friends when her man is being the guy that is fulfilling all of those needs for her. I don't think she desires that. She's not actively seeking. It may come into her life through other like friends of friends or whatever, but she's not seeking other male friends. I found myself in a position where my woman was hanging out with other guys that I didn't know. Yeah. And that triggered something in me because I don't think that's normal. It was just a reflection of where I was falling short in the relationship. And the area for her was she probably should have communicated that to me earlier. And that was her miss. And that was something we've worked through and things like that. So on that post, there was like 2 sides of people addressing that. Because that probably wasn't cool. It was an immature way of handling things. But at the same time, I fully trusted her to be like, if that's what you need right now to go and explore your journey, go for it. And I think if a woman needs to have that experience of like traveling solo and doing her thing and hanging out with guy friends, and go for it as long as there's trust there. Yeah.
It was a really interesting question. Like when you posted that, I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was like,
what's your take? Like, what's your take?
I mean, I don't know that I have a thought. I was thinking about like myself. I've always had a lot of male friends. Like, I always have had more male friends than female friends. Right. Like when I was younger, but I like anytime, and I was just thinking, but I'm like, okay, well, when I've had relationships where like the amount of male friends I have is like kind of staying the same in the relationship, but there have been others where I kind of just stop hanging out with all my male friends, you know, and I'm like, I think there's definitely something to that that's subconscious, you know. But I don't know. It's also different though, because I think about like, I mean, most of my male friends are my friends, like husbands, so it's like, it's different.
It's different. So think of it. My theory is when a woman enters a relationship with a man and he's providing all the ways that she needs, she's probably not going to create or attract many new male friends that aren't already coming from her existing male friends or friends of friends. She's not, I would agree. You know what I mean? She's not like meeting guys at a bar and now they're like best friends or whatever.
No, I agree with that. Unless it's like maybe meet someone and then you become like couple friends. Yeah. You know, like, but I would agree with that.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Same thing for the guys. Like
totally.
you're not going out like having all these amazing new girlfriends because you're in a relationship and you just wanted to no, that just doesn't work like that. But if there's an unmet need, or there's something missing in your dynamic with your partner, and you're not getting that feminine energy that's really nurturing you and fulfilling you, then you're going to seek to get it in other ways. And it might be through drinking beer and watching football, and it's giving you that feminine nurturance because you're not getting it from your wife. Might be flicking through fucking half naked girls on Instagram. You're going to seek the feminine energy somehow, some way, if you're not getting it from your relationship. So it's just being aware of that, I feel.
Isn't there also though, like, you could be getting it, but it's just not enough because you've, I don't know, just fucked up your dopamine receptors. Like, I mean, that could be true too.
Yeah, for sure. Probably.
Right?
Probably.
If you're just like addicted to porn.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's going to be enough for you.
Yeah, correct. I mean, you could be addicted to porn and be in a romantic relationship and
Yeah.
not knowing how to receive that feminine energy from your partner because you're emotionally depleted as fuck.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
stuck in
you
that
must
loop.
come across men who it's like, dude, like nothing's going to be enough. Kind of what we were talking about earlier where it's like people get bored after 6 months, like on to the next.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there?
Yeah. Oh, this is what I was chatting about Dakota with yesterday,
Yeah.
which is the commitment piece.
Yeah.
You know, if you're afraid of commitment in your life, it's where are you afraid? If you're afraid of committing to a woman, if you get bored of that, that's a reflection of all the ways you're not actually committing to creating the space in your life to have intimacy with yourself. And when I say self, I mean God as well, or divine or source. Intimacy with that divine energy that's nurturing you, choosing you, loving you, providing for you all the fucking time. If you don't have that commitment for that, no amount of dating or things external are going to fulfill that missing need. And that's where the dopamine chasing comes in, is because the first 6 months it's all dopamine, it's exciting, but once that wears off, if you're still addicted to chasing dopamine, your body can't fire the oxytocin that creates bonding, emotional bonding, doesn't fire for these guys. So then they start going like, oh, I'm bored of this relationship, but yet they're fucking drinking 2 coffees a day, nicotine maxing, just dopamine depleted continuously. So it's like, bro, let's address that. Let's commit to breaking some of those cycles so that you can actually let your nervous system feel what it's like to have God on your side or to be loved unconditionally. As you know, it's all coming from a deep wound of fear of opening their hearts again because they were abandoned and let down by the feminine growing up by their mums. It all comes back down to that.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm just laughing because literally like the other day I was talking to this person in the middle of it. He's like, can you hand me my nicotine packet? I was like, what? I was literally
the nicotine thing is a real deal right now.
I did not know.
The Zins, these nicotine. You not seen this?
I mean, I'm out of that.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I'm not hip with it,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, because it's a male thing. It's a big time male thing. Like guys like 7 milligrams to 10 milligrams of nicotine just all day.
Why?
Because it's that same dopamine stimulus that keeps them revved up in their sympathetic nervous system, because to be in the parasympathetic is scary and uncomfortable because it would mean feeling. It's an escape from feeling. Right? So again, that's the commitment piece. If you're not committed to feeling everything in your life, you're not going to be able to commit to being with a woman.
Yeah.
Because she's going to force you to feel everything.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Okay, but so this is foundational. It's like when you're describing these things, like stories from your life or like realizations you had, there's this willingness to look at where you could improve.
Yeah.
And like anyone who's actually doing real work, you have to have that willingness and sometimes even like that hunger of like, oh, thank you for that feedback. That's helpful because I want to become a better person. And I'm wondering, like, have you always been like that? Or did something kind of like break down your ego to make you feel more comfortable with like looking at where you could be better? Because I think that a lot of people just have a block foundationally with like a defensiveness. They don't want the feedback. They don't even want to see where they might be showing up fully. Both sides.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious if you've always been like that or if something happened that like opened you to that.
Yeah, I think I've always been open to it if the desire's there. Like I had a dream of playing professional soccer and I got to play at a high level in Western Australia, and I feel like the reason I got to there was because I was so eager to get better, and I would always look to learn from coaches or people around me and things like that because I wanted it.
Yeah.
But at school, I hated school. I wasn't really into it. So I wasn't into learning. I never read books or anything like that. But then after my first like relationship when I was 18, I was so emotionally attached to this girl through high school and university, and it just cracked me. Like all my attachment issues, all my stuff came up so early, and she broke my heart in many different ways. And the pain of that was so intense, but at such a young age that I didn't know how to handle all of that. And I drank a lot of alcohol and took a lot of drugs for a period of time until I went into YouTube one day and was like, how to get over a breakup. And this guy called Elliot Holst came up, and I just binge watched all these videos because finally someone was speaking into the pain that I was experiencing and how to move on from that. So there was something catalyzed there. It was like my first spiritual awakening came out of heartbreak. So that started it.
We'll do it.
And I will do it. Yeah. We'll do it for a lot of men as well.
Yeah.
And then, from that point, it was just book after book after book.
Yeah.
Needing to understand how to fucking make sense of this whole human experience. Yeah.
Sometimes, you have to lose something significant to be interested in preventing that in the future.
Yes.
You know?
Definitely. I'm curious to know how that started for you, because you've got such a diverse level of wisdom.
Thanks. I think on some levels I've always been like that, because I, from a young age, was such a people pleaser that I, like, any feedback I was hungry for so I could be better, so that I could please people. Like, it came from a wounded place. Yeah. But I honestly think I think
I've got some of that too.
Yeah, like I was just like immediately thank you, and I would change it, and so I got really good at that. I really liked it, and then I think, I think I mentioned to you, like, I went through really serious health issues that just broke me down, and like it was like, okay, just tell me the truth, like whatever the truth is, I just want to know, because I want this to work. And then I think, you know, as life has continued and I figured out the matrix, it's like quite literally what always works is seeing the truth and seeing where we can be better and becoming better, and new timelines open up and we feel better. It's just that simple. And so I think I just don't have any fear around it. And I think a lot of people have fear around it because they then will receive it like they're not enough or they're not worthy. And I don't have that problem. Like, I have such a strong relationship with myself and the divine that, like, that's why when people ask me about like worthiness, I'm like, I can't comprehend the question. Yeah. Like, the concept of worthy versus unworthy, like, does not exist in my reality. Like, it's just like, it's not a thing. Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, was that, and when did that shift for you? Was that always the case?
I honestly, it's always been like that. I think because I had Jesus and, you know, Mary, and like in my room, like from a young age, training me spiritually about like just divine truth, and like it's just not even a question, you know? So like we're all worthy. I don't know. It's just not even, that doesn't exist. Yeah. It's not a thing. It's just like, we're here. Yeah. We're here. Yeah. Great. So, you know, and we're here to live authentically and live from love and fulfill our mission and serve and connect and experience and live life and just indulge in all the cool things that life has to offer, right? There's so many cool experiences and people and conversations, and like we're here to do all of it, you know? And so I do think from a young age, that's how I grew up thinking, to be honest. Yeah. And I think as I got older, like teenage, I really struggled with my mental health. And like early into college, it was never really a worthiness thing though, but I think it was more of like, for a lot of people this is the same, but I definitely had like a perfectionist thing. But my perfectionist thing wasn't because I didn't feel worthy. It was because I was trying to control circumstances, because I grew up in a situation where there was a lot of uncontrollable circumstances. So it was a safety thing more than it was like a worthiness thing, if that makes sense. Right. Yes. But yeah, I'm interested by that. Yeah. Because I definitely have become aware of the aspects inside of me, and I'm sure everyone else as well, where there's a part of us that's always comparing to others. Always like going on social media and look, oh, what's that coach doing? Like, how did he get that many followers? It's almost like inherent into the human experience sometimes to be comparing or measuring your progress against, or I would say measuring my progress against other humans. So as I bring more awareness to that, it's letting go of that and realizing the only thing I need to compare myself to is my relationship with the divine or God. Yeah. The performer, which is all the ways I try to perform to prove that I'm worthy, to get people's love, to prove that I'm good enough. And then the controller, which is like where all the ways I'm trying to control outcomes and experiences because I don't trust. And I feel like there's an unraveling process to that, because the moment I become aware of all the ways those parts show up in my life, I start to see, let go, bro. Like, just trust. Like, it's all good. Yeah. You're always enough. You're always loved. You're always chosen. And I wondered, was that a gradual process for you? I guess your experience is so different. I know it's like the comparison thing is interesting, because I think I used to compare myself a lot until I think I formed like my current, which could always change, I don't know, but like my understanding of how reality works, which is like, and this actually got revealed to me. And I think just, throughout my life, there would be things revealed to me, kind of like how we're talking about, you go on this trip and have this opportunity, it just falls into your lap, or kind of how you got spiritual information, like with your friend and that book and everything. Like this came up more when I was in like the brain retraining era and just kind of exploring what all my beliefs were. And I had never before actually inquired about what are my beliefs about how reality works, or like how life works. Like, do I actually believe that life is supposed to be hard? Things like that. And so for the first time in my life, I was just making lists of what are my beliefs that are running subconsciously that I've never even thought about. And do I actually think this is true? And so much crap got knocked out just through the process of me writing it down and being like, I just don't believe that actually. So it doesn't need to be in my subconscious anymore. But with the comparison thing, I'm like, again, it's like, it doesn't even exist on the same plane, because like, I believe that reality unfolds as a hologram, like based off of frequency. And so if something's popping up in my reality, it's because I'm being shown it. So if I'm being shown it, it's because it's a menu item. And it's like, oh, and this is the difference between comparisonitis and like celebration. Anyone who comes in my reality where I'm like, that is fucking cool, I'm like, I want to be friends with you and I want to learn from you. Like, you showed up in my reality because you have something cool and I would like more of that. And the universe is showing me I can have that too. It's why I have a positive feeling. And the universe delivered me someone who already did it. Yeah. So what, have you written books? Do you have content? Can I actually be your friend? Do you have a program? Like, and I just follow that. And then I get delivered the information through other people's wisdom, and so it's kind of like the comparison doesn't exist, because it's like, what's the function of the comparison? Like, is it that you think you can't have that? Like in this paradigm, that's not a real thing. Like, everything's just a menu. Again, it's not popping up in my reality unless it's showing me what I'm resonant with currently that I already recognize, what I'm not resonant with, clear no, not going that path, or what's possible for me. And I get to choose which of those possibilities I want to lean more into, so like, I just don't believe that things even pop up in our reality that we feel drawn to if they're not a possibility for us to create.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Also, perceived negative experiences. What if there weren't negative experiences, or something that God needed you to experience to grow a whole deeper level of trust
100%.
in the fact that you're being guided? It's like, there's this, I just really feel like everything that you create, everything you see was created for a reason, because you needed to experience it to discover a new level of trust.
100%. Yeah. So, and I think that's like, it was so valuable for me to unwire all of that stuff and just really learn to move through life with neutrality. Like in neutrality, I found a lot of bliss, and comparison doesn't really exist there, So what might exist is like, I see that's possible, and I'm frustrated with myself because I'm not aligning with that. That might exist, but that's very different from comparing myself to somebody else, because I think we have to really look at that. Like, this is so funny. We had a clip from another podcast guest like blow up, and I just saw one. I don't usually look at comments, but I saw one of the comments on the top, and it was some old white man, who was like, making $10 million in a year isn't that great. I make more. And I was like, what the fuck? Oh, like, what compelled you? Yeah. Like, what compelled you? I'm like, and it's like, people are just going to say whatever, but it was just the point of the fact that most people are wired to have to tear someone down to feel better about themselves. And I'm like, why can you not just celebrate everyone for where they're at? Right? Like, it's such a, and that whole thing, but I think that even in higher frequency spaces, people do that subtly. And it's when we compare ourselves, there's a piece of us that feels like we have to tear like something down.
It's a one-up. I need a one-up.
Yeah,
this person.
right.
Yeah.
And so when you move past like 3D thinking, for lack of a better term, into like oneness and into love, and recognizing that, actually understanding how the matrix unfolds, like that doesn't exist anymore, because you don't have to take from one thing to get more of another. And that comes back to people's like foundational money beliefs, right? Like this disconnection from the infinite, from abundance in itself. If you work with money like this transactional thing. Like if you're relating to money, like it's just numbers on paper, and like it's limited. Like I only have this many people in my audience, so I can pull this, you know, this many people in each round of my thing, and then it's like you're literally just completely out of alignment with source energy, with abundance. Like, you know what I mean? That's not how money works, actually.
Right.
I mean, money is just a random ass number.
Yeah.
Doesn't even exist. It can glitch. So
when you're when you're looking to, do you specifically try to manifest certain amounts of money into your life, or are you? I
have, but not usually. Yeah. Not usually. Like I can. I mean, I can work with money in a lot of different ways, but it's like it's more about the foundational place where I'm coming from. And like people will come from a place, and it can be subtle or it can be overt, of like, I'm like, you clearly think there's limited money on the planet. Like you think that people are giving you money. Like you're telling me, well, people aren't buying that right now. Well, I'm like, no, like the divine gives you money. The source sends you money. If you're doing your mission and you are cracking the code and you're living more in alignment with that frequency, like trust me, people will find you. You know, like, I mean, money can come through in a million ways. You could have one client who's like, I'm just going to fund you for the rest of your life. You can, that's how you access wealth. Do you know what I mean? And people have such distortions around money and where it comes from and what's possible, you know? So, and that's what I mean about the way that people talk about it. It's this very like transactional thing, but you know, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. That's the same person that, not always, but it's like scorekeeping in relationships, right? And I think even in like polarity conversations, we have to be careful of scorekeeping, right? And that's my thing. It's like with the women being like, yeah, like men need to do that. I'm like, okay, but like that's just irrelevant because that's still scorekeeping. Like my job is actually not about him. That's his job. Like my job is actually about me, and looking at like, well, am I actually inspiring him? Like, am I actually creating space for him? Am I actually supporting him in his purpose? Like, it's like we have to move beyond the paradigm of scorekeeping, of transaction. That's true in relationships too. You know, like I was talking to Josh about this. I was like, my core value is generosity, because I don't believe like we're coming from a finite source. And so people will be very like shocked with my generosity. Like I'm like, you know, Josh and I were talking about it because I've introduced him to like a million people, and he's like, I don't even know you. And I'm like, well, I'm just delivering you all these people, right? Or whatever it is. Or like if people are coming over and I'm cooking and they're like, wow, I'm not used to people cooking, and you should just buy food. And I'm like, it's just a value, like sharing good people with good people, giving opportunities, you know, it shows up everywhere.
Yeah, but that's also the integrity that you have with your beliefs, because there's one thing to say, I believe in an abundant universe. But do your actions match that belief? You know, and that's the difference between someone who's mega successful like you are at what you do and someone who understands these spiritual concepts and beliefs but doesn't live it in their life. They're not actually the living example of it. So they're a walking contradiction.
Well, that's the broke healer thing.
Yes.
You know, like that's the thing that's so out of alignment in that space. And I'm sure even like in relationships, I mean, I see this all the time. I know all kinds of people that teach on relationships, and I know the inside of their relationship because they're coming to me for spiritual help, right? And I'm like, it's just so out of integrity. Like you can't tell me that you are a channel and you don't know how to make money. It doesn't make sense. You don't have to be, I'm not the wealthiest person in the world, like, but I like have everything I need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know how to make money. Yeah. You know, so we have to really look at that, you know, and we don't have to be perfect. Like I think anything you teach, you're always going to go to the edges of like learning at the hardest levels of it, right? Like you're going to deal with the hardest parts of it. Like you guys are going to go through all of the shit because you have to be able to speak to it.
Yeah, correct. Like, but that's a part of the issue in this current society, particularly in America, is that we see people go through one hardship in their relationship and they go, I'm a fucking relationship coach.
Oh my God.
We see people go through one little thing in their fucking health. I'm a health coach. It's like they haven't done the time. They haven't done the time to earn the right to be a coach in this area.
Retweet.
Oh my gosh. It's like you don't even know if that's what God wants you to do. You just went through one challenge. So that's the tricky part about this time of social media is
Yeah.
everyone's a fucking creator and influencer and an authority on something because you had
I
one little
know.
challenge you went through.
Oh my God, I know. I saw this. I wish I knew who it was. It was just someone on my Explore page, and she was like, here's a question to think about. Like, the next time you want to sign up to work with a business coach, I want you to ask them what business they built before becoming a business coach. And I was like, true. Right?
I now even go, does he have a life that I want to live?
Yeah.
Is he living a life
Yeah.
that I'm inspired by? Does he have a
That's the
good
one.
relationship? Does he have a good relationship with his kids?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about how much money you make in your business.
Yeah.
I want the money and you love your life and you're
Mhm.
congruent with your family.
That was one of the things that was like such a like an aha. My last partner would say that about, because he would meet a lot of people like in my sphere, and he would be like, I'm not trying to judge. He was making a good point. He was like, I'm not trying to judge. I'm just saying, like, why would I work with this person as a mentor or a coach or like a spiritual advisor if they don't have a great life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if their life, they're not happy, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that core to it. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people want, right? Like, are you actually happy? I
Yeah.
feel like I don't meet that many happy people.
No.
Right?
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
do you?
no,
Like,
no,
I mean, really?
yeah.
You know, everybody just wants to read the books. And I think that's the thing about all this stuff. Like, I mean, it bothers me in the spiritual space. Everyone just reads books and regurgitates it.
Yeah.
And it's not lived and it's not helpful. I'm like, I don't actually need 10 hours on what you were doing in your other lifetime in Atlantis. You know, it's like actually not helpful for me right now. But like, you know, and I think same thing with relationships. Like, people want to talk about that and they've never had a real relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially out here, there's a lot of people that have, you know, never actually had like a long-term relationship. Like, they're a lot more career focused. And I'm like, well, then that shouldn't be your career to be giving advice
For sure.
on relationships.
For sure.
Respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, this is back to the relationship thing. It's like you meeting the person and finding intimacy, and like now you found your one, but you're only 1 year in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole different set of challenges that come at 5 years,
Yeah.
and 8 years, and 10 years.
Yeah.
There's a whole different set of challenges that come when you have kids. That's why, like, I'm not the expert yet because I haven't had kids yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm not going to sit here and tell people I know what it's like to, you know, raise a family and still have a healthy relationship, because I'm yet to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
But all I know is I'm going to be committed to making sure that I keep showing up as the man I need to be when that time happens.
Yeah.
Which is why I trust that time in the game here,
Totally.
I'm only going to get more valuable as a coach when I have kids.
Mm-hmm.
As I keep saying to Amanda, it's like, it's actually costing us money right now to not have kids,
Yeah.
because what it's going to do to me and my own learning as growth as a leader and as a father. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because I know like you're like focusing more on people in relationships, and I talk to so many single people who want to manifest
Yeah.
love. And I do think a big block for people is like everybody's trying to do all of the work before they get in the relationship. And I'm like, there's just most of it you can't do until there's someone
Great point.
to trigger it.
Yep.
You know, and I'm not saying just like go find someone off the streets and get in a relationship, but I do think that it is something you have to like be like, hey, I'm ready now. Like, I'm ready to learn what I don't know now. And so I'm actually open, because I think there's a real just energetic opening of like, I'm ready to meet someone who I can do the work with.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I think that's a big mindset shift for people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it's like letting go of the control of when and where and how that happens.
Yeah.
And knowing that if you've made an internal decision that you're right now ready to do this work with someone, that person is internally already here and externally on their way.
Mm-hmm.
Internally already here, meaning operating from the reality it's already here, and trusting that externally they're on the way.
Yeah.
Can you live like that? That's what's needed.
Totally.
So many people are still thinking that they're on the way, but they're internally living like they're not here.
True.
They're not secure. They're not secure and trust. Like, you know what I mean? They're not in it.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, like, I was talking to my friend about this recently. We'll like joke about, you know, like our lists of traits, what we want. And I'm like, just that list has completely changed, where it used to be a lot more focused on like, you know, how he made me feel and like values he has. And it's not that doesn't matter, but it's more now about like how he navigates dynamics with me. Like it's more about what the communication is like within the dynamic versus I think a lot of lists, for lack of a better word, are more oriented toward like I want to avoid conflict versus like if I already know there's going to be conflict and hard times, like what are the traits that matter about how somebody handles that, you know, like stability within yourself and self-reflection and not projecting everything and like regulating your own emotions and having your own space to move through things and things like that. And I think that like that stuff I only learned by being in relationships.
Honestly, just if you're going to make a list, make the list about his character.
Yeah.
His character of a human being, the character as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the other stuff is, you know, comes and goes.
Yeah.
But like a man's character is something that, you know, it's like once a cheater, always a cheater kind of thing. Like if a man.
Do you believe that?
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to have a more effortless relationship without having to work through all the shit that a man hasn't developed yet because he hasn't built that character, then define the character that you want in a man. Yeah. And if you can, and I'll for the ladies as well who are listening, every single one of the best things to look for in a man is a man that's overcome all of his impulses. Maybe not all of them, 90% of them. If a man is still succumbed to his impulses, if something controls him, be careful.
Like coffee.
I would start with the more intense ones: porn, drugs, weed, alcohol.
But if that's a big one, I'm like, good for you. Like I know a lot of men who don't have coffee. I'm like, I can't even do that. You know what I mean? Like I'm still once a month.
But it's all back to dopamine, right?
Yeah. But I think that's an excellent thing to share. I think that's really important.
For sure.
My last question for you is there something, actually no, what is the thing that you want to talk about in this landscape that you haven't had the courage to?
Yeah, I'm trying to build a bridge for men and women around some of the harder conversations that are going unsaid in relationships. I've used the example with you before of like a hard-hitting topic on when is it okay for a man to tell his woman he's not comfortable with her wearing that? When is it okay for a man to set a boundary in his relationship about the kind of people his woman is hanging out with, what's he posts online? Because culturally, we see women so validated for doing whatever the hell they want, posting what they want, wearing what they want. But I actually think there's moments, there's lines, there's parameters where it turns into disrespect when it's not expressed and not communicated. So I'm trying to build bridges for these kinds of conversations. I will do that with my platform because I'm not here to just, I don't want it to be a platform where everyone loves my content and everyone agrees with what I'm saying, because that's me probably not speaking enough truth.
Yeah.
So leaning into that a little bit more for me is going to be, and I think a big part of it is learning to confront the wound of not being, of being like women rejecting what I say. It's like it's a mother wound thing, right? Like wanting to approval of women. Yeah. But so much of what I'm about to share and will share is like a lot of women won't like it because some women need that. They need to be triggered. Be like, no, that's not okay behavior. Yeah. That's not respectful behavior as a woman. If you want to attract a man into your life who respects you and respects himself, that behavior is not going to fly. Yeah. But they're told that, oh, that's okay. Hailey Bieber does it, so I can do it.
Yeah, it's a really important mirror though, because like I'll tell these people, I'm like, you because women are like, I want a masculine man. I'm like, you're not ready for a masculine man, because a masculine man is like can say no and set a boundary. And so it's like it's this thing where if there are women who are completely unavailable for someone setting a boundary with them, like then you're actually not in a space where you're available to actually be in your feminine in a relationship, you know? So it's an important mirror. Yeah. I'm curious, besides the clothes thing, is there something that you're thinking about that you're like, that's going to trigger women? Or is this just a nebulous idea you have that you're going to trigger women?
I think to that point where you just mentioned, which is like a lot of women say they want a strong masculine man, but are you willing to submit to a strong masculine man when he comes into your life? Are you willing to put down the control mechanisms or the ideas that the feminist ideas that you've absorbed through culture Some of that. And I think some of the stuff that's probably about to come into my world as I think about what it means to raise a kid. If I have a daughter, how do you discern what's right and wrong as your daughter grows up and things like that? Me and Amanda are about to go through it. Like we've already had some hard conversations about some of those things. So yeah, things will come up, but I think the essence of it is I want to speak into more of that tension that maybe I've gone through and I know other men are going through, but don't know how to put words to it. So they either lash out, project, and control their partner, or they be quiet because they don't want to be the guy who's, you know, that girls make memes about online. And it's a very toxic culture because men are so afraid to speak up and speak their truth because they just get fucking tore to shreds by this feminist cult that just like operates on Instagram, just commenting trash on posts.
I have so much to say about it. I'll let it sit. I mean, I will just say, and I just think some of the most important work for like women is you have to do the work of like healing your relationship with the patriarchy, and you have to come into genuine reverence for men. And I think that's true for men too with women. Like, and I think on your side it's a lot more like, not you personally, but you know, like for men it's a lot more of like what porn shows. It's like I was saying this to Jackson. I was like, I can tell within 5 seconds if a guy watches porn because I can tell how he relates to women in general. Just like it's like the objectification that I think you should do that. It's just an energy of how they talk. It shows versus men who actually like respect the feminine. You know? But it's true with women as well. It's like I can tell if you respect men or if you're just constantly resentful to all men and you think they're shitty, and it's just like not fair. It's not true.
Big time.
You know? So I think you have to, and speaking of sex, like, I mean, this will be good content for you, you know, but it's I can only speak on my side, you know, but for women, it's the most important thing to have a healthy sex life. Because like you cannot be a good lover if you don't like revere your man. So true. You know? And it goes both ways. So true. But I think, again, it's like where it shows up over here, it's going to show up over there. And these are the things that people don't want to talk about. You know? Damn, I'm great. That's such a good point. Like that relationship with the patriarchy, and you should love to worship your man. Like you should love to want to pour into him, just like feed love into him, and vice versa. And if there's a block around that, like then fuck, that's it's like we want to be worshipped, but then like we don't want to worship, and it's just that's not how it works. No, you know, not at all. And I think the other thing with like a few of the things you said, there's always this underlying tension of there's the work we can do in relationship to improve it, but then there's always that question of like, but is it right? You know, and even what you're saying about like, you know, or is a woman willing to submit? And we were talking about this. Even just saying that, I can already hear the feminist right now. Like that word alone is so triggering. This isn't a feminist channel, so it's fine. It's good. I know, but I'm thinking about if I was to share that on Instagram. But again, this is a part of what I'm stepping into. People are gonna be. I mean, that's fine. It's like you can either learn. To me, like you can either learn the mechanics of healthy dynamics. It's the same thing of like you want to kick and scream and whine that you have to make content to build a business, then don't be an entrepreneur. Like it's just that simple for me, you know? So if you want to bitch and scream about like things that you need to do to be a healthy partner, you don't want a healthy relationship. That's fine, but then don't complain about it, you know? So, but with that submission thing, and you don't have to say that word, but it's like your willingness to be in your feminine, you know? I think there's like for me in my journey, it's like there was the willingness, right? But I also had to look at how much of this is just me not trusting, but how much of this is like I'm actually not with the right person because I just don't trust his discernment. Like if I foundationally don't trust his discernment, that could be just like a block with me. Like I'm not willing to give up control, but that can also just be like the intuitive piece of me that doesn't trust him to make the right choice. And then I shouldn't be with him, you know? And I was saying this after you left the other night. We were all talking about like, what's our top 3 things on our list? Because everyone left was single. And I was like, I have learned like that's my number 1 because that knocks out so many other things, because that implies like I know his character, I know his values. I'm like, if I'm in a coma, who's going to make good decisions for my children? That's how I have to think. right? Just like I totally trust their discernment, because when you do trust someone's discernment, and I've seen this change in me in different relationships, like when it's really easy for me because I totally trust him, versus that piece of me that is like, I feel like if I drop my guard, everything's gonna go to shambles.
Yeah.
And that's also a real thing, you know, like sometimes it's just not aligned, to be honest.
Yeah, and the man whose discernment you can trust is the man who's free from his vices. It all comes back to that.
That's true. That's it.
Because he's confronted the shadow. He's confronted the darker parts of himself, and he's looked at it courageously. Yeah. That's the man you can trust.
So true.
Yeah. The man who's hiding behind his work or hiding behind his dopamine addiction or nicotine addiction, I'd be like, careful there. Yeah. Careful. He's not gone there. He's not gone deep enough. Yeah.
So true. But not the coffee. The coffee's okay. Coffees are good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my God. So in your program, is that like where you're taking them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Renunciation. What are they renouncing?
Yeah.
And we have a tracker. And I just go, if this is the one thing that they get from this program, I know it will have a significant impact in their life. Yeah. So for me now, like with programs, it's like, it's all in the action. It's all like, how can I keep them accountable to taking this action? Because that's what they're paying for at the end of the day. Anyone who joins a program or coaching, you're paying for someone to hold you accountable to actually creating real change in your life. Otherwise, you're just mentally masturbating on the content, the call, whatever it is. Yeah. What's actually going to change in your life? And for me, the biggest change is when you break the habit that's weighing you down the most.
Yeah. Liberation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so funny because like that's the masculine core need, right? Like freedom.
Yes. Yes.
And then you're like caught in loops where you're not living in freedom.
1,000%.
So it's like you come back to yourself right when you do that.
Yep.
You know, very tangible.
Yeah.
Very practical.
Yeah. So simple. So simple. How simple is that?
Yeah, so simple.
Not easy though.
The struggle is going to be, a lot of women are going to listen to this and be like, I think my husband should. So you can send it to him. You just have to trust that he'll find it. Yeah, he'll find it.
Hopefully. I mean, it's the amount of guys that I've come to me that their women sent like a skit or a reel to them, and it's like,
it happens.
It happens, yeah. It's cool. It's the women. The women are the ones sometimes championing the growth for the man enough, and that's a beautiful thing. If your woman's got your best interest in mind and saying, hey, I think you should check this out or listen to this. How beautiful is that?
Yeah. But that's what I like about like your content, because you guys show both sides. So it's not like I know I've sent content to my partner because it's like showing what I'm doing and what he's doing. So it's not like an attack versus this is what you're doing wrong. It's like, like this is what we do. And then we're both like, oh yeah, like that's what we've been doing. Yeah. You know? So I think that's what's really great about how you guys show.
Thank you.
Both sides.
Thank you.
Keep doing that.
Yeah. We're just warming up here.
Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. I'm so excited for you.
Me too.
What do you feel like is the main thing you're taking from your trip?
More time in America.
Yeah.
More time in America.
Yeah.
That it's all here. Like I've been so inspired by you and the friends and the community that's around you, and you guys are all so successful. And it's just like you make it seem so easy and effortless, because it is. And it's like learning to embrace that inside of me. You know, for so long I used to think it was just hard. Like and I've worked really hard to try and figure out these things, but I look at you guys and it comes so effortless, and I go, oh yeah, you're right. It is.
I wouldn't say it's effortless, but
yeah, you put in the work. You put in the work for sure.
It gets to be fun.
Gets to be fun. Yeah, definitely.
Gets to be enjoyable.
100%. So, and also just like owning it more. I sometimes don't realize how impactful what I'm doing is until I get reflections from other people. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, maybe what I'm doing is actually super
Everyone knows
helpful.
You.
Yeah, it's like it's a trip.
Like literally anybody was like, oh, this guy, like, oh my, I love his stuff.
That's wild, eh? Yeah. It's so trippy. So I think taking what I've already created now and keep going with it. And it's weird to know people listen. It is a weird feeling when people are listening and influenced by what I'm sharing or what you're doing, right? Yeah. But I think it's a great responsibility now to go like, okay, I want to keep sharing what I'm learning to help this next generation, because I think it is a generational thing. This work isn't for me or for us, it's for our kids. What our kids come through with, what programming do they adopt through all this stuff that we go through. So I'm trying to lay the foundations now for when my kids come through. Yeah. They become my greatest teachers after God, and That's it. I'm ready for that. I really am ready for that.
I love that. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you guys and your new chapter, and it's like so good.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you came out here, and I'm really excited to see what happens for you next.
Yeah. And you're the best, honestly. You are so awesome. I think anyone who's listening to your show or it got the blessing to be around your field, there is a true level of authenticity and generosity that I felt from you. And
thank you.
Yeah, I'm really grateful to have you in my life.
Yeah.
As a friend, as an ally. So
meant to be. Yeah. Next, you need to bring Amanda out so we can be best friends.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't wait.
She's coming. She's
okay.
gonna. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This is incredible.
Thank you.